age difference doesn't really matter. In other countries, it matters somewhat. In some countries, matters a lot. But what is it to you? So what's the age gap is acceptable to you specifically? So yeah, let's talk about it. Actually, the other day I came across a very interesting article, and that's what prompted me to think about this topic. Although we do cover that on the webcast here and there anyway, but yeah, let's talk about it specifically. Anyway, so in the article there've been studies done, and so what is considered to be acceptable age gap? At least we're talking about American society. So they have a formula for this, apparently. So guys, ready for the formula? It is divide your age in half and add 7 years to it, and that would be, acceptable dating age gap. So let's say you're 50. So divided by half, 25, and add 7, so 32. So basically, then if you're 50, you can date a 32-year-old girl, and there should not be any issues. So it's probably as young as you should go according to this formula. What do you think about it, Dina?
I think it's a maximum age. So I think the smaller age difference, the better. I mean.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's why they say they're not saying
guys don't
you
get
should
so
go
excited. Yeah, you don't need. If you're 50, you don't have to date 32 years old. Or 25.
Yeah, well, just because it is a rule, just there is a formula to it that doesn't guarantee anything, So yeah, just if you find someone, if you meet a girl, let's say at a social, and she happens to be 30, outside of that age gap, like, oh no, I'm not talking to you, I'm walking away. But, if you feel there is a connection, definitely, it's not like it's unbreakable rule. You totally have to follow it. No, don't worry about it. But it's something to think about it when you consider starting a long-term relationship, because it matters. And the study in this article, they saying it actually does matter a lot along the way, even though you have a lot in common at that time. When you meet, you can talk about the same things, but those age difference come and play in the long run. Basically, they studied the divorce rate amongst the couples with different age gaps. So interesting thing is, the couple with 5 years age difference, the divorce rate was was like 18%. With the couples with a 10 years age gap, the divorce rate went already to 35%. And for the couples 20 years apart or more, the divorce rate was 95%. So guys, it's something really to think about. 95% divorce rate, it's a lot. So of course, there are exceptions to the rule, and that's why you probably should think, if you're going for the significant age gap, you probably should think twice about it before you dive into something like this. So let's see. See what you have. See what you guys seeing here. Okay, let me go back to beginning. A lot of questions today. Well, again, let's just answer questions as we go and talk more about age gap. Do you want to start?
From James. Hi, Anna and Dina. Hi, James. Could you please give me the email address to the person that does Skype call to Peru? Thank you. James, just make an appointment and just go to girl profile and press the button call me now, and it will take you to appointment page and add funds there. So, and when they will see, so can I say how much that?
Yeah.
So it's $125 just in case. So they will see your funds there, and they will contact the girl and they'll ask her if she would like to do Skype with you. So I will look for you too there. So, and I will make sure Peru office got your order. So, but
actually,
you have to do it
Peru,
on the phone
Gustavo,
translation.
Costa Rica office manager, Spanish call, so Gustavo is
Yeah,
going to be the one.
Actually, I'll contact him and ask him to do your Skype call, because you have to have a Spanish translator. So I don't speak Spanish. I do only Ukrainian.
Dina is very awesome, but Spanish probably.
Yeah, yeah. But unless she speaks English, so
that works.
Yeah, yeah.
From Joseph, hello from Kiev. Oh, Joseph, you're still in Kiev. from Patrick. Hello Patrick. And actually from Patrick as well, to answer to the poll question, my wife from Philippines is 20 years younger than me. Yes, guys, in the Philippines, it's pretty much the only exception to the rule when we're talking about, age difference. People really do not mind. It's not a factor for them when they make a decision, about long-term relationship. The age is really not a factor compared to other countries. So, for example, I would say in Ukraine, average age gap. I ask a lot of ladies. They would say, well, probably like 10, 15 years.
15, I think. For Russian and Ukrainians, 15
that
is
would be
the most.
something they definitely would consider. If it goes more than that, it's case-to-case basis, I guess. It really depends on the guy and the connection and see what they have in common. Latin America overall, it's about the same actually. Colombia, 10, 15 years as well. In Peru, although my office kept telling me that even 7 years is a large age. Yeah, they're the strictest ones when it comes to the age gap difference. So yeah, guys, actually share your experiences. Have you been communicating with some ladies? What their feedback?
So in my experience, when I'm doing a phone translation calls or Skypes, even guys more concerned about age difference than girls. They asking girl like 1,000 times, are you okay with my age? Are you okay with my age? She said, yes, I already writing you letters. I already start communicating with you. Why I'm not? Why not? So I think guys more concerned about it than girl.
Well, and they do have the reason to, because again,
if
they're older, they have more life experience, they know what, why they asking, because girl, younger she is, less experienced she is, she can say,
she's already start talking, she's been writing him letters, she's been talking with him on Skype, phone, anything. So she's okay, right? Because she's already talking to him, she's already led him in her life, so, and guys still concerned about it. Okay. Actually, we're not recommending go over 20-year age difference. So, because it's really risky. So you make sure you have similar things in common, like chemistry, of course. Obviously, chemistry.
It's always. It's it's a must for any relationship. That's the whole point. There gotta be chemistry in a relationship. Otherwise, it's just not gonna last.
Similar lifestyle, even guys. Because if you like over 50, maybe you want like a quiet life, and she's like, what do they say, 32? She probably still wanna go like to, I don't know, club or restaurants. Make sure you have similar lifestyles. Maybe she doesn't like any stuff like that. Maybe she's more like a home girl. So, and she wanna have a child, and you too. So, and even if she's 30 and she has that lifestyle, I think it's acceptable. But make sure you're on the same page.
Yeah, that's it. It's regardless of the age. It has to be the similar concept of how your life together should be. If she's planning on partying every night with her girlfriends at a nightclub, and you just rather watch Netflix, that's not gonna last. So there's just something to discuss. And a lot of our guys, even though they can be older, sometimes they're very active and they look much younger their age, which is great. Again, don't get me wrong, but think about it. What about 10 years from now? So right now you whatever it is. But where are you gonna be in 10 years? Are you still gonna be, going 10 miles hike every morning? Are you planning your retirement? What are you gonna be doing? So make sure your lifestyles will match, 10 years down the road as well. So think about long term.
And actually, girls, I know a lot of girls who even they want that age difference, like they want like at least 10 years age difference, because they actually, in their experience, they're like domestic guys. They're not mature enough. It's the same age, even if they're 5 years older. They're not mature too. So and they're looking for the guys who is 10 years older, even. Like, so I know those girls too.
Yeah, that's what draws a lot of girls to the website. They're looking for life partner, somebody who's serious, who can take care of the family, who is responsible, and with their local dating experience, especially if you're talking about Eastern Europe, just a lot of men are just so immature. It feels like you're adopting a kid, really, not getting married. So that's what they want to avoid. That's why they want to make sure man is gonna be the head of a family. He's ready to take on that responsibility. That's why they're looking for somebody, you know, who's a little older. But again, it's very individual. Everybody has their own preference as far as the age gap. So let's see what you guys say in here. Hold on. Hold on. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Mark, I think.
From Mark, hello Dina and Anna. To answer the poll question, the youngest age I would go is around 27 up to 37.
May I ask how old are you? Because we don't know. You know, so,
that's a tricky age because if you don't want any kids and she didn't have any kids, she probably will want in that gap still. So
yeah, but if you're open to have children, I mean, that should be, you know, I mean, might work. Again, kids is really something you never can negotiate. You cannot have half a child, you know. So a lot of things in a relationship you can talk about, work it out, but you cannot work out the child problem. So it's either there or it's not. So that's something to, you know, discuss probably early on in your early dates. Actually, I think there are a few. Yeah, I did miss a few more. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Oh, okay, you missed a lot.
Oh, yeah, I missed. Okay.
All right, go.
We'll catch up. No, Patrick, we have
from Dean.
From Dean, yeah. Hi, this is Dean from Denver. Would you recommend a group singles tour or individual club plan from my first time experience? The individual club seems more flexible for my schedule.
Well, for now, we can only recommend individual.
Yeah, just because we can't really have group tours at the moment. But, you know, if you're going sometime next year, you know, my intake on that, if it's your first time in the country and if you can't take a group tour, I'd recommend a group tour because you just get way more support, you get to meet more people, and, you know, you're going to be there with other guys too, and, you know, a lot of guys don't think about the, friendship with other guys aspect, but it is helpful to have a wingman, and you're not going to be going on dates all the time, you'll have some downtime, so you can always just sit down, just hang out with other guys, or go on double dates, you know, your buddy from the tour meets someone, you meet someone, and, you know, 4 of you go out, you know, it's just more fun, you know, go play bowling or something else. Plus, again, the staff is, there at the hotel most of the time, so you always have 24, tour leaders always there, so you have 24/7 support. Well, probably, hopefully not 24/7. Please don't call tour leader at 2 o'clock in the morning, please, guys, please, because most likely it's gonna be me. So please don't call me 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and you have a chance to meet Anna as your tour leader, and you can complain to her if something wrong.
No. We just stop at that. Just meet Anna. As far as complain to her, no. There's John for that.
There's nothing to complain about at the tour, okay? So. Everything
yes, if you have good experience, talk to me.
Share the good experiences on how good everything.
Yeah, and then of course, if I'm there, I'll do my best to make sure you guys have a good experience. But, given the COVID and pandemic and all that, I don't know how the group tour schedule is gonna look like next
summer,
year.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
so sure summer.
Hard to plan. It's hard to plan anything. I mean, today I had my flight scheduled. And guess what? The airlines called me today saying, nope, we just cancel your trip. No,
but how excited it's going to be?
I mean, it's only 3 weeks away, and there's already, so my plans had to be changed within 3 weeks. I know how people can plan for next year. Anyway, what I was talking about.
You should miss that first tour after pandemic. Girls going to be so excited, and you guys finally can come out of country, and it's going to be fun. So
another perk of the group tour, yes, you meet a lot of people at that. So you right now you're watching the footage of the tour, tour. So you see a bunch of people all at once. So it's like a bunch of mini dates. So you can see all those ladies right away. So sometimes we do have parameters set on our head, the ideal partner, and when we're browsing through profiles. We're searching for that ideal person. But sometimes, you're in a room with all those people, and she might not be, you think she's not your type, but then you start talking. Maybe let's say you're into blondes, but then, and you meet the brunette who's probably outside of your, age range you're looking for, and she's, physically might not be something you would, be interested at first, but then you start talking and there is crazy chemistry happens and you find out how much you have in common, and just, things go from there. So it just helps guys to just open up their horizons and meet all kind of different people. That's just very efficient in my opinion. But if you cannot take a group tour for whatever reason, then individual tour is always there, and it's available now in most of the places, so just reach out to me. We'd be happy to set it up for you.
Vox Hawks, 10-year age gap is acceptable to me. I might go as far as 15, but depends on the lady.
Yeah,
That's
fair.
a good. I think it's perfect.
From Joseph, 15 years for me. Yeah, so I see a lot of guys that are sticking to that 10, 15 years.
From Bill, hello from
upstate
New York.
You guys gotta be cold over there.
Snow.
So good to be in Arizona this time of the year.
Joseph, it's my second week in Kiev. Joseph, how long you going
Yeah,
to stay?
so actually, yeah. You
Are
go
you stuck?
home at some point, or just move to Kiev. From Melbourne, 10 to 20 years difference in my preference. But yeah, I see majority of
That's
guys that are
good.
just sticking to it. Did we?
Mark, hello Dina and Nana. To answer the poll question, the youngest age I would go is
yeah, but
around
we had that one.
26.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
all
Sorry
right.
about that. I already had that one.
Carlos, sometimes I will get sexual explicit letters. Is that a sign of scamming?
Well, it's not a sign of scamming, but again, I just really need to look at a case-to-case basis. I cannot generalize on that. Sometimes women write stuff to get men's attention because they do want to meet you in person. They understand the competitions. They realize how many other women out there. So yeah. But again, just if you do have concerns, just reach out to us. We'd be happy to look at each single case. So if you think there is something up, and we'll be happy to call the lady and just talk to her about it. See what she says. See what her feedback.
Do you like the
on
letters or no? Are you complaining or
the
sharing?
thing is, guys writing back, so it's not like it's one week correspondence. They do reply to that, so. And we do have to read it, guys. So when you write it, you realize interpreters are reading it. Sometimes we have to, if there are questions, we have to look up somebody's correspondence. Please don't make my eyes bleed. Come on, I have to read all this.
From Melvin, one of my friends left for Lima today. He's gonna propose and start the K1 visa process.
That's
Yay,
awesome.
that's
Hey.
wow.
And actually, guys, Peru opened up recently, so you can go to Peru. And to answer a question of McKissick's question, so looks like you can go, although just look into requirements. I haven't looked it up. I think it's like 72 hours prior a COVID test, but need to look it up. From Charger, love the presentation, awesome, thank you. From Chris, I'm 58 and will consider 35 plus. Older the woman is bigger. Older the woman is bigger the gap can be because of life experience. Yeah, I'm brain dead already. Definitely.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Both of you are pretty mature at this, this age. You both know what you do and what you want from life. So yes, I think that works. From Sly, I heard Colombia may have another lockdown. Well, at this point, lockdown can happen anywhere in any country. Right now, there's no confirmed information, and that's the only thing that matters. So but we definitely keep monitoring the situation.
James, many thanks, ladies. You're welcome. From Paul, the age gap between my fiancé and myself is 12 years. 12 years, perfect.
From McKissick, buenas noches, mi amigos. Well, from Mark, Hannah, look at Ron and Rob who work for FA. They're 30 years apart. Yeah, Philippines. It's like I'm saying, Ron is from Philippines. It's pretty much the only destination where the age is really not a factor. I do know couples, obviously from Eastern Europe, with also large age gap, and say, that's great, but that's more exception rather than norm. But in the Philippines, absolutely. And Rob and Ron are a very happy couple. They're amazing, and it's all great. But again, guys, keep in mind, Ron is from Philippines, so to her it never was, never was an issue, never was a problem.
From Dave, age gap ex-virgin 2 is 14 years younger. I won't even consider even that being an ROF, retired of. I'm looking for 50 or older.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Actually, we have very few guys that searching, for the ladies 50 and
we
up.
have some beautiful ladies, guys.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And then you can not tons of profiles, of course. Majority of profiles we have 20 in their 20s, 30s, early 40s, but there are some beautiful ladies in their late 40s,
yeah,
early
for
50s.
ones that have a good genetic. For second, they are really taking care of themselves. So you guys don't hesitate to look older than 50 years old. So you'll be surprised. Sly, many of these women struggle to make it. A nice guy who provide well.
Well, not sure what to say here.
Well,
it's hard to find a nice guy who.
Human always will look for better life. So
it's
in our nature.
Look, everybody is looking to, in somewhat, marry up. Nobody is looking intentionally to marry down, guys, attracted to beauty. So they're looking for obviously, attractive girls. Nobody ever came to us and said, oh, I'm looking for some ugly girls. Nobody ever said that, so, and obviously attracted to beauty. And, so is women. They definitely gonna, they need something to look for in their partner, and of course, in the end of the day, everybody's trying to marry up, men and women. It's fairly normal.
From Roman, I'll let you know in 10 years what I'm up to.
10 years of webcast, all right. Mark, I'm 41. Okay, well.
McKissick is Peru open?
Yeah, I just answered that. Yeah, that's open, but need to look into requirements. I don't have tons of reliable information on that. Need to check the embassy websites and all the official sources of information.
Joseph, the ladies in Kiev office have been great.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
Yay.
Yeah, I've heard that like 3 times today. The third person that told me today, and yes, I know they're
really very
cool.
nice.
From James, can you still purchase just a social event, not the tour? James, I don't think that will happen while we're in this pandemic situation. So after pandemic, things might get back to normal, but because of the guidelines and local limitations, I don't think we will be able to do walk-ins and socials only and all that. That has to be a package, at least as of now, and until the end of pandemic.
Sean. Hi, where can I locate my profile ID number?
Give us a call. You will not be able to see it on your end, so call us. You can call the front desk. You can call either of us. We just can pull up your profile and give it to you over the phone, or send us email. Any of us can find that. But it's available, it's information available only on our end.
Have there been any marriage from James? Have been any marriage internationally where the woman is older than man?
It happens, but it's kind of rare cases because, again, if we're talking about Eastern Europe, women are really hesitant to date men that are younger than them, because of their past local dating experiences. They consider men even their age are immature, nonetheless the younger ones. So again, things happen, but it's 1 in a million case. I don't know. I don't have the stats.
I don't think we have it. We have those.
Yeah, well, there are some. I've seen like 2-3 cases with a small age gap where a woman would be older than man. But
I only know one happy marriage when a woman is older than man in France. Only one.
Well, so they exist, but they're rare. So.
McKissick, as far as age gaps, what about the age of talking the man's age, or age of talking the man's age, dividing by 2, then adding 7 years?
Yeah, so that's according to psychologists, that's a formula to find acceptable. So if you have questions on how socially acceptable the age gap, and I don't know, so you're meeting someone So take your age, divide it by 2, add 7 years, so you know if you're 50, they're saying you should not go younger than 32, basically, according to psychologists. So 32 probably should be the lower limit that you should not, or should be very careful with. So I mean, you can technically consider dating 27 years old in this case, but just proceed with caution. So try to, in this case, date 32 and up, let's say. So divide your age by half and add 7 years.
From Iron
Soldier, Lena Datsenko in Kiev office has been awesome. Oh yeah, Lena is a very happy person. I don't know, she's always smiling, you know, she's very optimistic. I don't know where she gets all her energy. I don't know how much coffee she drinks in the morning, but clearly more than me.
From Joseph, while dating during the pandemic in Kiev, I have taken ladies to restaurants. There are some dancing clubs, but they close early. Some do stay open after curfew. The ladies know the secret places.
Yeah, actually, I've heard today, and Kiev office told me to. Looks like they're gonna be strictening up the restrictions again in Ukraine. So they're planning to shutting down most of the places on the weekend. So they want to try a new concept. Places being open Monday through Friday, but on the weekend, like restaurants, gyms, clubs, everything is gonna be shut down. So people have no reason to get out of the house. So they're gonna try to do it that way. I don't know whether it will be efficient or not. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, it has. So this rule has not passed. They discussed it, but most likely it's gonna happen next few days probably. From Tom, I'm 54. My lady is 32. Medellin. We're comfortable with our age difference. She knew that before we started communicating. That's what I'm saying. You know, just take it case by case. It's very individual. Every person has their own idea what happiness is to them. So just because there is some kind of scientific formula, doesn't mean it's applicable in every case. And so it's important to do what makes you and your partner happy. So if two of you are on the same page and you're happy, that's all matters in the end.
From Tom, I'm going Friday, November 13th to see her and meet her son, mother, brother, sister. I already have the engagement ring and she approved. Yay, Tom,
hey,
congratulations.
Well, pictures.
Yeah, let us know next time how it's planned.
From
Tom again.
Tom.
I am going for.
It's the same. Yeah,
okay, it's Tom. Okay.
Yep. Sorry, got it twice. From Vauxhall, why are age gaps so much more acceptable in the Philippines than other countries around the world? Well, just a different culture. So, every nation, every country has their own culture, or things that are social acceptable and not acceptable. So everybody has their own ideas. So in the Philippines, that's what it is. It's just it doesn't really matter there. It's not one of the key points. Yeah, keep going.
Charlie. Hello, Dina. How are you doing? Good. Thank you. The answer to the poll question, I think that less than 10 years is acceptable. My question is, do Ukrainian women have a middle and last name?
Of course they do.
Last
I mean,
name.
it's not Beyonce. It's just if we just go by first name, again, there'll be a lot of damn Annas there. So, yeah, they do. We don't post it obviously on the website for privacy reasons, but they do have them in database. We have it. So.
Wage
slave.
Wage. Oh my God. Would older Ukrainian women 30 and up be open to dating foreign men in their 20s? Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little challenging. So in this case, I would ask our staff, when you're on the ground there, just talk to staff and have them help you with matchmaking, because they know a lot of ladies personally to save, you time. They can just, can make recommendations of the ladies that they know for whom it's not a problem. So just matchmaking would be the best way to go about it.
Okay, we did Charlie already.
Edward. Can you tell us what the Ukrainian women mean when they say they want a serious relationship? Well, I mean, long-term relationship that leads to marriage. I think it's pretty universal. Poll question. I get email letters from Ukraine, Russian ladies of all ages. I don't think age oh no, you get introduction letters. That's a whole different story. I'll get to it in a minute. So just because you get introduction letters, it doesn't mean anything that that 18 years old would be totally looking forward to get married with somebody who's 65. Age matters in Eastern Europe, and again, just because you get an introduction letter, all it means is just women kind of testing the water. They're sending messages to everyone. A lot of guys, they don't know. I mean, they know there's a lot of women and fewer guys, so they're trying to get men's attention. So sending messages to everybody, to just fishing with the broad net, see what comes out of it. And what? Just talking to someone online doesn't mean she's gonna marry this guy. It's just talking, seeing maybe make some friends or something. But in the end of the day, chances that again the 18-year-old girl will go for 65-year-old guy, slim to none. So no. So just because you get a lot of letters, introduction letters, it does not mean that Eastern European women that are that open about age difference. Absolutely not. And second part of the question, I'm looking for a woman with no children. Those ladies a bit younger, say 20, 25 years old, younger than me, 58. I don't add 7 years to the formal you mentioned. Some of the ladies close to my age don't smile in their profile pictures. Well, as far as smiling in the profile pictures, that's a cultural thing.
It's a new thing now. So if you see older pictures, their grandmas, grandpas, moms, they don't smile in the pictures.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, that's not the cultural thing. So that would not necessarily disqualify somebody.
At all.
Just because she looks serious in a photo, that doesn't say anything about her personality. So let's do the next one.
Silver. I don't buy the whole divorce rate is lower in Ukraine than the States. The majority of the girls that I met were either divorced, either in Ukraine, or never married with children. Ukrainian women like to think they are traditional, but those sorts of conservative women rarely go to the socials to meet foreign men.
Let me start. I disagree with a lot of it. So as far as
sorry,
can we go back?
About divorce.
Yeah. So as far as divorce, I mean, divorce in Ukraine, the divorce rate in Ukraine doesn't really say anything about Ukrainian women personality. It says more about Ukrainian men personality than women. Women get married with a good intention, hoping that family will survive, but then as they face all the challenges, guys start drinking, that doesn't work, or there's so many factors why marriage can fail. And in most of the cases, again, there are some on the it's women's fault, but if we're talking about Ukraine, for the most of it, it's on a men's fault. And divorce in Ukraine is so easy. How many divorce happens because of infidelity, it's so easy for guys to have a mistress in Ukraine because so many beautiful women, and there are more women than men, so it's easy for guys to cheat. It's just like no effort, So actually, it's one of the most common reasons for the divorce. Of course, Ukrainian women are proud. They don't want to put up with this nonsense. They find out, her husband cheated. All right, so it is what it is. So she'll go get a divorce. It's not, and so it's fine. And it's easy to get a divorce in Ukraine. Here in the States, the divorce can take easily a year. With all that. And in Ukraine, there's barely any property to divide or anything, so you just go to court, takes 30 days, and you just move on. Case closed. And by default, children always stay with mothers. So divorces are really simple in Ukraine to get. It's not like here. But again, it doesn't say anything about women's personality. And as far as those conservative women not going to social, I've been I don't know how many socials now. I guarantee more than you. So there's a lot of different women with different personalities. So there are thousands and thousands of women I talk to at those socials throughout the years. There are different women, absolutely. So I don't know what your experience is based on, but I would never say that those conservative women rarely go to socials.
Yeah, we have different girls there. So we have like 200 girls there, and I'm sure like at least like 20 or 50 of them really conservative. They just come there to have fun, to meet with you guys. Why
It's
she
an
has
opportunity to meet a husband. What's wrong with
conservative
that?
right there. She come there to have fun, to meet you guys. So she's dressed her best, she has makeup on, and she may be a lawyer or doctor, you know, and very conservative at her job, but there she come to have fun and
You know, she's going to meet her future husband possibly, so she knows she needs to look her best. She needs
Smile,
to socialize,
laugh.
and and I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Um,
From John, welcome back, Dina. Thank you, John. I'm
Wait,
working.
hold on. We're gonna get back to you.
One second. I'm working the late 30s to early 40s stratum, and the approach seems successful. This approximately what the formula recommends. I have sworn of girls in their 20s. By the way, what are the odds that Ukrainian will be open in Ukraine will be open in January? I may have some time free then for Ever Club.
Well, let me get my crystal ball and predict all the NFL results. It's easier to do actually than to predict whether Ukraine will be open
You
in
might
January.
should plan for March, April.
Well, for
now.
Euroclub, I mean, it might be. I mean, Euroclub is. I don't know. Most likely, Ukraine is going to be open. So as far as individual travelers, so yeah, the group tour, I have serious doubts of the group tour. But yeah, Euroclub, you probably will be fine, but don't hold me to that, you know.
From Chris, Costa Rica open for the Latin Club. Thinking about the next summer.
Well, yes, it's open now, and especially by next summer, yeah, she should be fine. From Greg, are there any restrictions on travel to Ukraine this time? Well, same as last week, you know, COVID test that needs to be taken either within 48 hours prior to arrival or at Kiev airport, or whatever airport you arrive. Otherwise, you would have to undergo quarantine. And yeah, health insurance. Other than that, there is no additional restrictions at the moment. Things might change, but so far that's it.
Underdog. Hello, ladies. Can you still do the independent tour?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. From David. Hi, girls. There was only 6 months difference between my age and my ex. Well, you know, again, that's not all about age. Sometimes personalities matter too. So, you know, sometimes people don't, you know. Sometimes things don't work out. At this point, I look only the personality, character of the ladies, not their ages. That you still should consider ages. You know, it still matters. Do you think there'll be any tours to Ukraine next year? There is no replacement for an AFA social. I still wish to attend another tour and socials. Well, I hope. I mean, especially, you know, closer we get to summer. I mean, I'm pretty confident about summer tours. I don't see a reason why those shouldn't happen. April, probably. January, yeah, I'm not. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Don't put my hopes up for January tour there. From Mark, and I have not had much experience with dating, so to be honest with you, I'm a little nervous about dating foreign women in general. I just don't want to make a mistake on a date. You know what? Just relax. We all make mistakes on a date. That's normal. You're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna learn from it. You know, there is no way you just can go there and do everything right. You know, the first girl you talk, it's gonna be ideal conversation, and you fall in love immediately, and you go get married, right? No, you're gonna go, well, whatever it is, number of dates, whatever it takes. You know, they're gonna be horrible jokes that you're gonna make. She's not gonna laugh on. You know, they're gonna be something that she will do, and you know, some mistakes. It's just normal. People make
practice
mistakes.
make it better. So
Yeah,
as long as you're dating, you know, you meet your perfect one. But if you just, you know, never will do that, so you will never meet one. So just do it.
Yeah.
Just start.
Again, it might work out with the first girl you meet, or it might work out with the girl number 20 that you meet. Just relax, enjoy the process, just talk to people, make some friends, and see where life takes you.
From Robert, what new restrictions in Ukraine prevent the November tour?
So the local guidelines that limited the number of people at the venue, the public events. So right now they're actually making it to 20 people. So we cannot even have a group of guys in one room, nonetheless have the staff there and invite women. So yeah, events over 20 people are prohibited at Kiev. So it is what it is. So see if they change it by January, but I don't know.
From JD, do Ukrainian women like listening to popular American music?
Yeah, it's playing
Yay.
everywhere, absolutely. From McKissick, probably would not have had life experience necessary for us to have intelligent conversations, spiritual connections. Thus, for me, no older than 39. Oh, hold on,
Okay,
sorry.
1 second.
Something about-
Sorry.
But no, not older than 39, but no younger than 30. So you're looking between 30 and 39. Well, all right, sounds good.
Robert, my girl is an event hostess guest. What she was doing today in Kiev? What she was doing today? Hosting an event, how do you do that if you cannot have gathering? I wonder.
It's yeah, I mean, yeah,
I think
you
it's
know,
allowed like 10 people.
Well, I mean, so I mean,
Yeah.
right now, well, like so they changing the restrictions to 20 people in the next few days. Right now, I think it's like 35 people. So if it's a small event under 35 people, it's possible to happen. And it is Ukraine, there's just a little bribe here and there. Things are. Little bribe goes a long way in Ukraine, let's put it this way. We're not going to go that route. We're not going to bribe officials in order to have social because we believe in doing the right thing. But, I don't know what, kind
Even
of...
if it's 10 people there and everybody on Skype watching it, it's still event. You still have to host it.
So you
can
offered
imagine.
your Skype social?
Yeah.
That's an interesting concept. Yeah, to like do big Zoom conference with 300 people. It's going to be crazy.
Underdog, I would say the divorce rate shows how strong the women are.
Yeah, see,
strong
that's
women
the way to look at it. So it doesn't say anything, I would never hold this high divorce rate against, people because they're, in women specifically, there's so many reasons for that. So, but it's certainly not because, women are not serious and they're not interested in staying married and they just run away when the first problem arises. No, I mean, I'm sure they did their best to keep the marriage going, but there are some things you just cannot live with, and you cannot stay in a relationship if there is a physical abuse, if if there is emotional abuse, if there is infidelity. So there's so many things that people should not put up with, and that's just complicated there. From Melbourne, hearing good potential about COVID vaccine being approved before the end of the year. That will greatly help things next year. Yeah, for sure. So even though the people start, there will be vaccine this year somehow. It's still gonna take time before people start, actually getting vaccinated. That's still gonna be a long process. So yeah. So things are going to change as far as pandemic goes for quite some time, even if there will be a vaccine tomorrow.
From Tom, Colombia has suspended PCR test requirements for all travel. They will do random temperature check and require face mask.
Oh,
face
so well, thanks for letting me know. I didn't know the requirements changed. So yeah, guys, so you don't even have to worry about that. I mean, you still might want to take a test for your own sake. But yeah, that's good news. Thank you, Tom. From Chuck, I would like to do the individual tour to Ukraine in December coming up, December 2020. Well, thank God not 2021. What are the best dates in mid-December? Can I go say December 12th through 25th? And will the ladies be around in Kiev still? Yeah, that's fine. Mid-December is fine. It's not holiday time yet, so people are gonna be traveling. Because guys, if you're thinking about traveling, closer you get to New Year's Eve, more complicated it's gonna get because it's the biggest holiday
Not
of the
this year, probably.
Well,
Nobody
people still
going
have
anywhere.
families, so the thing is, even if there's lockdown going on, there is a good chance they might want to travel back. Let's say she lives in Kiev and she has family in Vinnytsia. There's a good chance she would want to, because yeah, she cannot go to a party at this point,
Yeah.
because the New Year's Eve party is probably not happening. So what do? You go back to your family to celebrate it with them. So there's actually more cases when people are going to be traveling out of town to spend it, with the family in a small group. That's allowed. You can go spend the New Year's Eve with your parents or just very, very close friends.
Yeah,
or
but you
something.
choose good dates. It's
Yeah,
probably
that
good.
should work. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see if we have any more questions. But yeah, and then going back to that age difference, I've seen different cases throughout the years. Was the largest age gap I've seen actually was 40, a little bit over 40 years. That's pretty significant one. The one I've seen. So far so good, and it's a wonderful exception to the case. It's just, but there are some countries like Philippines, Thailand is somewhat open to it. It's not as wide open as Philippines, but wider than Ukraine. So I would say something to that nature. As far as China, women still, that would be similar to Eastern Europe in that regard. They would. Overall, what I've heard from our local offices, what they've been telling me, they usually still 10, 15 years. 20 is acceptable, but it depends, depends on the man. So we'll see. What do you think, Dina?
So I met my husband through a foreign affair. We have an 8-year difference, and I wish it could be a little more because it's still like
You
playing
think he's
games.
immature?
Yeah, sometimes.
Hopefully he's not watching it. Yeah, that he will learn he's
video
immature.
games. So yeah, maybe a little bit more.
Poor AJ.
Yeah.
Now he knows he's immature. So, no, but the 8
But
years
I
is...
was always, I was dating, it was 15 years was maximum for me. Like, for foreign guy. Domestic, I didn't think about it. Mostly was my age.
Yeah,
guys.
And women usually say, as far as again, talk about Eastern Europe and actually Latin America too. As long as a man is from my generation, so as long as we watch the same movies, listen to the same music, there's something to talk about. There's similar interest and again similar lifestyle. Lifestyle is what matters a lot too. So, age is somewhat just a number because it. Somewhat again, because a lot depends on the lifestyle, how active you are, how you spend your free time. If you're on the same page there, then yes, the bigger age gap might work as well, as long as you enjoying the same things. But again, keep in mind, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, that she can change or you can change, and problem will happen. But yeah, there is no guarantees. Even if people are the same age, exactly the same age, there is, it doesn't mean that their marriage will last forever. People can, get divorced for different reasons. Do you have any more questions there? Anything coming? Okay, we do. Yay! I think.
Yeah.
Which one? Hold on.
From Bob?
From Bob. Yeah. Just to give you some good news, they do have a vaccine and they begin to use it in Michigan. You might want to go online and find any more information about vaccine used in Michigan. Yeah, thank you, Bob. I'll look it up. But then again, it's still gonna take. It's gonna be a long process. Yeah, it's starting to use in the States, but we're talking about international here, so it also needs to be used in other countries. And a lot of people will be skeptical about getting vaccinated right away. They would want to see how it's working on other people, see what side effects are there. So they're not going to jump on it right away. So they're going to be, it's going to be a slow process. So yeah, they start in Michigan, but how long it will be before they're going to be doing it everywhere, not only in that specific state, but also in foreign countries, and also how accessible the vaccine will be. So if it's free, obviously a lot of people will go for it. But if they're going to be charging a ridiculous amount of money for that, and people can't afford it, Russia was selling whatever COVID drugs. What they were charging a couple hundred for that. So the price of the farm is a couple hundred for that. And whether it works or not, that's a whole other story there. But a couple $100 was in a place where that's actually somebody's monthly salary.
Is it a good one? Is it a good one?
So first of all, you don't even know it's work. Second, it's Russia. They skip bunch of trials, so you don't even know. I mean, they say, your kidney's you're gonna probably have a kidney failure. So, and probably you need a new liver. And it costs, your monthly salary. What are the chances people will just go for that? So it's gonna be some time, before it makes it to all the countries. So.
We have a brand. I have a question for you, ladies. What are the most common social mistakes American men make while in Ukraine?
Let's
begin.
So that's a whole subject for another webcast. But let's try to cover some
whole question next.
Let's think about it. Like, where do we begin?
Mistake from maybe number one: not bringing flowers at the first date. So girls like flowers there, and they're actually expecting you to bring some to her first date. To the first date with you. And I don't think guys really know about that.
We tell it to guys, so you guys know. But overall, I did notice that a lot of American men just have no concept of giving flowers. And again, not saying you have to drag the bouquet of 100 roses, to each of your dates, but something, something small at least.
3 roses will be fine.
Just not 2.
Not 2, no 1, please.
Well, 1 is fine. Look, it depends on the date. So just think about if it's, it's an active date. Basically, people go, like walking around the park, dragging again a huge bouquet is just inconvenient. So 1, it's a first date. 1 rose is fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. It depends on which date it is. It depends, do you know this person? How many dates you already had this day? If you date number 7, of course you're just gonna get tired of buying flowers all the time. But if it's a special, if you feel like it's gonna be a special date, if you've been corresponding for a while, just bring the damn flowers. Come on, it's not that difficult. What else?
What's a common mistake? You always talk about it.
Taxi, actually. So, there are a lot of it, but since we mentioned flowers, might as well mention taxis. So, in Ukraine specifically, women would expect to be reimbursed for their cab rides. So, we usually warn guys before dates. So, offer staff tells us, hey, so your cab fare will be about, let's say, 600 hryvnias, which is like $20 round trip. So it would be nice of you to, give her money for a cab. What I've seen guys trying to do, they say, I'll just call you Uber. And women say no, and guys say, she's a scammer, because she just wanted to take that $20. The thing is, it's not about $20. Women aren't comfortable when man calls Uber for them because he ends up keeping her address, and that is creepy. No, I'm not saying, you're a serial killer and you're a stalker, and you're not, but there are some people like this everywhere. And when you're meeting someone from the internet, for the first time in their life, or a second, Ted Bundy was very nice, nice looking guy too. So, just giving your home address to a person whom you don't know is really dangerous. So, again, nothing against you personally, but women will be very concerned as far as letting you to order Uber for her. So I would not recommend that. So just reimburse her for cab ride. Yeah, you probably overpay by a few dollars, but it's not that big. You can survive spending extra $3 on a cab.
Maybe mistake go to restaurant where we not recommend you to go.
Oh yeah, that's
so. And then they charge you a lot of money, but we warn you, don't go there.
You know how many guys that usually take our advice on that? Less than half, because they see a beautiful woman and they listen to whatever she says. But that's a whole other thing. I'm turning date into basically job interview and drilling a woman with her questions. So, I mean, I understand you go in there for a short period of time and you need to find out whether you're compatible, if you have the similar, values, similar ideas and all that. But just don't, just make a conversation sounds interesting. Don't drill her with questions. Where do you see yourself? I really hate the question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I mean, guys really, I've seen a lot of guys do ask it. And again, I understand why they're asking and what they want to hear, but don't do that. I mean, there are ways how you can get the same information, but just, just in a different way. Just rephrase that question. Just make it sound a little more creative. Just make the conversation fun instead of, how much money are you making? So do you want to be a housewife when you come here? What do you, how much money you planning to spend in a month when you come here? What do you, and those, fairly important questions, but you'll get to it. You probably don't want to, start planning how many kids you're going to have and how you're going to name your Labrador Retriever on the first date 5 minutes into it. Just talk about something more, neutral. Just try to find out what you have in common, Yeah, I know those, those questions, what are your hobbies and interests, that's very typical, but that's something to start with. Talk about her hobbies, find out something about her and see if you share any of that. And once, it clicks, so she likes skydiving, you like skydiving, yay, so you can talk about it. So there is, connection on some level, because when two strangers meet, they don't really know much about each other. So find those connection points. From Andy. Hello, I'm Andy from Cleveland. I see so many profiles with oversized lips. Is this a result of Photoshopping or that is actual fashion in Ukraine? Unfortunately, Andy, sorry. Is there a possibility to mention this in the profiles, natural lips and inflated lip, Photoshop lip? Well, it's not going to be the profile. Hey, my lips are photoshopped. Obviously, you're not going to see that. But it is very common. So there was a big trend a few years ago, it was even in the States too, those big Angelina Jolie lips. So it's becoming less trendy now, but at some point, a lot of women actually fell for it and done those injections and enlarging their lips. So it's not, it's becoming less popular now. So this trend will die down eventually, but I think we're probably going to have another year or two into it, so you'll see those huge lips.
Maybe in person it's not so bad. I mean, in a picture probably like close.
Yeah, it was with a lipstick.
Plus, it will go away, eventually.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, it's
Maybe she's a very good person, and you just reject her because she has that lip.
Yeah, those lips injections are not permanent. If you don't keep doing it, it just goes away.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it much. Her personality should worry you more than her lips.
From Bob, just to reiterate my last statement about the COVID vaccine, it has 90% cure after the second dose, and the President Trump promised that it would be free to all Americans. And when I say it going to Michigan, they're saying within a month. It could be many more months nationwide.
Yeah, that's
nationwide.
well, again, great for thank you for the updates, and eventually there will be, vaccine some kind commonly used, which is it's gonna take some time for it to take effect. From David, I try to look at women over 40, but my heart is young. It is only my bones that are old. My favorite flower for a girl is snapdragons. Well, good luck finding it. That's those are rare. It's definitely a very unique flower.
Oh, David, it's
you're
okay.
creative,
If you feel young and you look good and you like very open and good person, so go for it. Yeah, try.
Give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
Just might take long. So the thing is, again, when you go on for a big age, intentionally dating women that are significantly younger, most likely you're gonna spend significantly more time dating them because, again, chances to find what you're looking for gonna be smaller. So you'd have to go on bunch of dates. So as long as you're willing to put time, money, and effort into that,
Or
go
David,
for
if
it.
you're looking for Ukrainian girls, maybe you should look at Philippines girls too.
Yeah,
They're very nice
or
and-
yeah, they change
you
the
know.
country. So if you're thinking about significant age difference, again, there's Philippines.
Yeah, I mean,
Wonderful
try in
place.
Ukraine if it works. So go to Philippines. Yeah,
That's what I usually recommend anyway. I mean, Philippines is a great, wonderful country. We have a
very
huge
nice
success.
girls. You know.
Yeah, I mean, all the wonderful girls we have working in our office, our
Yeah,
accounting,
look at
and
Rona.
obviously
She's
Rona.
very happy. You
yes,
see her, she's happy. So even they have 30 years difference, but
Yeah, and
always
that's
happy.
not a factor, and that never been a factor to her. She was more interesting, who Rob is, and
yeah, you could be 30 and you're such a grumpy and I mean, guys could be see their 30s and acting like old guys, but you could be like over 50 or 60, and when you're young inside, everybody can see that.
So just again, case by case, it all depends on who you are, all depends on who she is. So let's see.
From David from Texas, how common in
Interracial.
interracial dating in Ukraine? Subsequent marriages.
Well, that's a complicated question. So I wouldn't say it's very common. So it happens, obviously, but it's not very common because it's just, it's Ukraine. And it's, you need to look up the stats, but 99.9% of population are white. So it's just not very common. Women are definitely open to that, but I'm just, I don't know, I don't.
But we have like couple guys.
We do, we do
and
have.
They had a big success there, so.
It's end of the day, it just really depends on the person again, specific person personality. So yeah, I mean it's less common in Ukraine, I would say, than Latin America.
Latin America they're more
or
open.
anywhere else. I mean, it happens, and we do have international marriages. So, so I would not disqualify Ukraine. I don't know if you're considering going there on that basis. And yeah, check it out.
I think it was
Alright,
last
yeah,
question
probably
from
last
David.
question. So we're gonna wrap it up for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your answers and your feedbacks on the sites. It's good to know what you're looking for. And I see a majority of guys said they're going for 10, 15 years on average age gap. So thank you for the feedback.
Thank you guys. Good night.
Thank you for watching. Have a good night.